Hello everyone, welcome back to another podcast of Chai and Goals. We don't have
Thank you.
Amay today. Amay is in India. It's 8 o'clock there, so he's just woken up, but too early for him.
Yeah, Yeah, we are hoping to have him back by the end of this week.
Yes,
It's
in
been
severe
quite a
jet lag.
while that we all three have been on a podcast together.
Correct,
It's been
correct.
very fragmented and like not a regular updates from us. So hoping that we'll have the next few weeks, we'll have regular update because the season is spicing up. Uh,
Yep,
Especially like the title race in the Premier League, it's as good as over. But the top four spots are still up. The remaining three spots are up for the grab, and
correct.
possibly a fifth spot for the Premier League team too.
True. I would actually say there are just two spots up because I think Liverpool, Forest, and Arsenal are safe. And it's City, Chelsea,
Bournemouth,
Villa,
Villa, Brighton,
Brighton, maybe Fulham.
Fulham. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe everyone just tries to get in. But with that being said, today was the cup final
Mm.
of Carling Cup between Newcastle and Liverpool, and Newcastle deservedly win it 2-1,
Yeah.
uh, winning their first trophy after 1969.
It's been 40, 50 years, more than 50 years,
55, 56
55
years.
years.
Yep.
So a big win for Newcastle, no doubt. And I was surprised that they were playing well despite not having Anthony Gordon in the lineup. He's been suspended, right?
Yeah, he's been suspended. He got a red card in a Premier League game,
Mm.
or I think it was Premier League or FA Cup where he got
Yeah.
suspended. I think he got suspended for physical conduct, and I think
Right.
he's gonna miss 3 games for that. So
Yeah, I guess this was the third game, if I'm not wrong, or
yeah,
was
it could have been. Yes, yes, he was still in the stadium but couldn't be named.
yeah.
But I think I saw the match. I saw the complete match. Newcastle deserved it. Uh,
Newcastle was
Liverpool.
physical. One aspect is they went physical against Liverpool, and the midweek match for Liverpool, the tough match after like 120 minutes plus penalties, that certainly took a toll on Liverpool players.
Yep. And had they won that match, I'm pretty sure they would have carried that positivity to this
Yeah.
one. But because they lost that at Anfield in penalties,
Mm.
I think that just broke them. I seriously looked at Liverpool from the first minute.
Mm.
Didn't see them as winners. Newcastle's midfield was dominating them
Yeah,
continuously.
Newcastle was pushing Liverpool. Like even I was watching the match, and Newcastle were literally going behind every ball, and that's
Yep.
what like it's been a feature of Liverpool to be honest for so many years, especially under Klopp. Like they were constantly running behind balls, and Newcastle were doing the same to Liverpool. They had rest in midweek. They did not play, so they had more energy, more time, to rest and be fresh for the match, and that showed in the body language.
Yep. Joe Linton, I think, was the man of the match for me. Joe Linton, Tonali, and Bruno Guimaraes literally dominated, or they literally played Liverpool off the park.
Yeah.
And I think Slot, for the first time, I kind of questioned Slot because the decisions were not good. He said McAllister to mark Dan Burn, a 5'6" player marking a 6'7" player doesn't make sense, and that's where the goal came from.
Yeah.
And
Dan
even
Burn is actually having an amazing season, to be honest.
yes, he's been
He
named in the England squad as well.
he's been
So
named in the England squad, and he's what 32 plus 30. I guess
yeah,
34, if I'm not wrong.
yeah,
32 plus for sure. Uh,
exactly.
and he wasn't very adept at left back when he was where he was playing last season.
Yep,
But this season he's been moved back to the center back position, and it show like his performances have grown over the season for sure. Uh,
correct.
he got a goal for Newcastle at PSG.
Yep,
And that would be a wildest thing for Newcastle fans, like winning against PSG. Uh,
that to
and
4-0.
and that too, yeah. And I believe Dan Burn has been lifelong Newcastle fan, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
So
yes,
his performances do deserve some recognition.
yep, yep. And to be honest, like uh, I think Isaac again scoring today,
Mm.
from a very good build up. His stock is just gonna is rising, is rising.
Who do
And
you think would go for Isaac next season? Or
I
where
hope
he should
Liverpool
go?
goes for it, but looking at the owners of Liverpool, I highly doubt if they'll be able to afford him. And Newcastle might just ask like crazy 120, 130 million for him. So,
For sure. My guess is I'm pretty sure he'll go above 100 million
yep.
unless City comes into the picture and does something behind the scenes.
Or if Liverpool actually give them Jota or something of that sort happens, which I don't think so Newcastle will want. They'll just want all cash. If
Yeah.
it's all cash, then I would expect
The
it to
only
be,
hope is Nunes goes and you get good money for him.
yep, that's the only hope. Even Jota, I've been hearing rumors that he might go back to Wolves. So
Hmm.
it's surprising. I would rather see him go to Arsenal and they get a striker and Isak comes to us. So, but again, 120, 130 million is what I'm expecting if it's a straight cash offer.
Yeah.
So,
FSG doesn't look like the owners would spend so much money. 100 plus for I don't think they'll splurge 100 million plus on a player.
again, the last time when they splurged was Nunes, and look at what has happened. So, that is what, and again, Isak does have a bad injury record.
I
So,
believe clubs should be more careful when buying players from Benfica.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
You
But
see,
again, the problem with, again, not talking about Benfica for a moment, but Isak has had a major injury record.
yeah.
And looking at what Jota has gone through, uh, I think they can't risk spending money on a player who has a bad injury record. So
True.
even though he's amazing today, doesn't mean that his injury won't continue with him. So
So where do you think he should go otherwise?
I'm pretty sure if he doesn't go to Liverpool, I think Arsenal might just come for him and buy him outright. But again, looking at what Arteta and the board has said, time or like done time and time again, that's something which I'm not sure about is if it's gonna happen. It should, like, they should buy him.
Well, they did splurge on Declan Rice, and you can see the results.
Yeah.
He's commanding the midfield for Arsenal right now. He's
Yep.
chipping in with important goals, and then he's a leader. So they spent
True.
100 million on a good player, I'd say.
True. True. Yeah. And then if they buy Isaac, I think they might be the most complete squad in the Premier League. Like their defense is really good. They have a decent goalkeeper. Like not a decent, like an above average goalkeeper. They have a good midfield. They have a good attack or like a creator in Odegaard, and then they have Saka. They might have Isaac.
I still feel they still lack a good left winger. Like
Yes.
Martinelli is not consistent, and so same with Leandro Trossard.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely true. But then again, it's everyone who like has won a title has not had like a world class left winger for like a while.
Yeah.
So they do have two options. Like Martinelli is there, Trossard is there. Those are options, and they might just be like, okay, yeah, we'll deal with it. But if they get Isaac, they have a superb striker in there. One
Yeah.
who can finish, one who is very good with heading as well. So yeah, would be amazing for them. But let's see.
Okay,
But
yeah, a bad result for Liverpool for the night and bad week rather.
a
Uh,
bad week, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
crashing out
And
of two competitions. I was expecting Liverpool to win this, but then the extra time and the penalties and like you mentioned, the turmoil that it had on the players that
yes,
showed in the match.
yes. And then today, to be honest, like everyone was played out of the park. And I was kind of surprised that Slot didn't make substitutions fast enough. Like, I'm not sure why didn't he play Gakpo from the start? Why
Mhm.
was he again starting with Diaz? It might have. I'm hearing that Gakpo is still carrying an injury. That could
Mhm.
be a reason why. The other thing was why not try Elliott or Chiesa from the start? That was another thing. Again, Jones not starting. He literally selected the same team that started against PSG.
Mhm.
Jota again flopped today. So why not just try to freshen things up when you have the options? And today, to be honest, it was one criticism I had of him is like he caught players quite late,
Mhm.
and they couldn't do that
Yeah.
fast of an impact. So yeah, kind of a learning curve for him.
Do you think Salah is currently facing like some sort of like this week? I saw Salah in the PSG game, and even today,
Yep,
he wasn't as effective. It did not look as effective as he's been through the season,
yep,
except
yep,
for that 1 month Christmas after the Christmas. But otherwise, he's been in a terrific form. But
yep.
this week there was something off. Like I did not see him pressing too much against PSG or like creating any like mentioning chances worth mentioning, like outstanding chances.
True, true. Yeah, even PSG and even today, right? He was literally man marked out of the game.
Yeah.
And to be again, it just comes to the same thing, right? Like if all the players are going through a dip in form,
Mm,
he himself is not able to get that touch, which he generally does. But because he's also tired, he's also fatigued,
yeah.
and like literally after the game against PSG, right, he was crying his eyes out.
Mm,
So maybe it's that okay, this is the end of me with Liverpool because again, I think they've signed the contracts, but they not all of them have signed. And that could be one thing. Maybe they have not signed, and he's like, yeah, I don't care anymore.
mm,
And he's going for the Premier League record of breaking Shearer's record, basically.
mm,
But that's the indication I have is like he's just too tired. Like Salah is one player who is not rotated. Like
yeah.
they have options on the left wing in Gakpo and Diaz, but they don't have any options on the right wing.
So I
And
was discussing this with Ameya last time when we met, right? So we were discussing that Salah is one of the very few players who plays week in and week out.
yep,
The thing which you mentioned, I don't see him ever like out with an injury for a long time or being not there for the match. So and considering the season that he's had, the impact that he's had on Liverpool, especially this season,
yep.
it like you mentioned, it certainly gets overwhelming sometimes.
Correct. And that's what, right? They don't have a natural like-to-like replacement for him in terms of pace, in terms of creativity. And he doesn't like to get substituted like
Yeah.
Diaz or like Gakpo. So that I think it's just fatigue. And again, it's not physical fatigue as much as mental fatigue.
Mhm.
So it might just be it. And Slot should have looked at maybe keeping them fresh for the second half, letting the youngsters play, or maybe even like Endo play, right?
Yeah.
Gravenberg literally had a very bad game today. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was being
That was
dominated.
surprising from Gravenberg.
Again, it's been like they've been played so many games, right? That's where I think Slot needs to be a more decisive. Don't play Endo in there. Like let him take those 50, 60 minutes and then play your first team. Soboslai was non-existent throughout the game because
Yeah.
again, tiredness. So I think Slot needs to have that learning curve of like, okay, rest these players, play younger players in there, like Klopp used to do, right? Like he
Yeah.
used to play younger players sometimes.
Yeah, Klopp
Okay.
rotated very well between Elliott, Curtis Jones,
Yep,
other youngsters too.
exactly. So that could have been just it. And again, Salah is missing Trent on the right wing.
Mhm.
So that could have been the other factor as well.
Possible.
But Newcastle very well deserved.
Yeah,
No, like
congratulations to them.
absolutely. They literally played Liverpool off the park.
And Newcastle won a trophy before Spurs,
Exactly. Before Hurricane. So
before Harry Kane.
exactly. But yeah, interesting. Like congrats to them. Amazing game. So
Yeah,
respect to Newcastle in that terms. I think
definitely.
Eddie Howe was one of the few English managers who has won a title. I don't think
Yeah,
so. English managers have
no,
won a title in the recent past. So hats off to him.
true.
Yep.
Right.
I
Let's
think
move
the
on to our
next.
Premier League fixtures now.
Yep. The next. I think the big game in the Premier League was today. Arsenal versus Chelsea
Yeah,
at the Emirates. Arsenal winning 1-0 at home.
it was very comfortable win. And they could have probably scored a couple more.
Easily. Easily.
And Raya, looking at Raya, it doesn't inspire any confidence. Oh, Sanchez, sorry, not Raya, Sanchez.
But even
My bad.
Raya had a very.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too. So Raya had a slip up.
Yep.
Luckily, it hit the post and went on the other side and not in the goal.
Yep. Yep. And had that gone in, I think that was on 50 or 60 minutes, or I could be
Yeah,
wrong. But again, had it gone in, I'm pretty sure Arsenal would have found a way. Uh, But one thing which was kind of concerning to me was Arsenal not burying their chances.
True. They
Sanchez was
are
lit.
lacking a striker. They are scoring,
Yes.
but it's pretty evident that they are lacking a striker.
Yep. Yep.
Because if a seasoned striker would have scored a couple more easy.
Yep. Easily. I would have easily saw this as like a 3 or 4-0 win,
Mm,
but it was a very, I would not say a narrow win because Chelsea were never close because they are themselves missing their striker.
yeah.
But a 1-0 win doesn't inspire confidence,
Chelsea were
especially when
looking
they.
flat without Cole Palmer. And honestly, Cole Palmer, I was looking at the stats. So last 10 games or something, he hasn't scored.
Correct.
So
Correct.
there is a dip in his form. There is some concern within the Chelsea camp.
Yep.
Uh, and he wasn't there. So their main creator, their main scorer wasn't there.
Yep.
Nicholas Jackson wasn't there. And I don't think and you Sancho was there for everyone to see. Like they were praising him, but his work ethics it's not up to the standard of Premier League.
Yep. And the other thing is, right, like one of their signings which has majorly disappointed is Christopher Nkunku.
Yeah,
He he has not stepped up like the way he was playing at RB Leipzig.
true.
Nowhere close to his input or output where it was there.
Uh,
Even
so I believe he was more of a number
10.
10,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he's being played as a striker over here. So
Yep.
he was more of a creator and a creator who could score goals.
Yep.
But over here, you're putting him in front, and that too in the Premier League, which is known to be physical. So it's not easy. Like you see, even Zirkzee struggling here, right?
Yeah,
He,
even look at Havertz, right? Havertz was a number
yeah,
10 for Leverkusen, and here he's come and being played as a striker, and he's struggling. So,
you
and
had so you can see the history of Bundesliga players too, especially
yep,
the number 10s. United had Kagawa who did not fare well. He
yep,
scored amazingly. He used to create many chances and he score for
Dortmund,
Dortmund.
yep,
Same with Henrik Mkhitaryan. He's flopped at two teams, United and Arsenal.
Arsenal, yep,
And then Kai Havertz being another example. Then
yep.
you even had there was one player with Crystal Palace. Was it Maximilian Meyer? I'm not able to
I
remember his
think
name.
so. Yes,
So
yes.
even he was a good creator in
Hmm.
Bundesliga. He was touted to be a hot property, but then he fizzled out in Premier League.
Maybe because like Premier League teams, at least currently, don't play with a number 10. They
Yeah,
always have like a three in midfield. They don't have like a proper number 10. I
true.
think after Mesut Ozil, I have not seen a proper number 10 in the Premier
You
League,
had
to be honest.
Mata with Chelsea, then you had Mesut Ozil being the best
Yeah,
example. The role of number 10 has kind of diminished in global football, actually.
correct,
I
correct,
believe
absolutely.
only Jamal Musiala currently he's more of a second striker. Like I was reading his stats, he has
Yep.
scored more goals than he's created.
Hmm.
So the role of number 10 is certainly diminishing. Uh,
Correct.
that's why like you don't see players of the ilk of James Rodriguez or Mesut Ozil anymore.
Yep. Absolutely, absolutely. And to be honest, like looking at Arsenal, I don't think so. They have the power to defeat Madrid, or it's a 12-point gap right now with Liverpool with 8 games to go, I think.
Nine. This was
Oh
game week
yeah, nine.
29.
Sorry, yeah, 30, 29. So I don't think so. They have the power to challenge Liverpool. Liverpool will drop points for sure, but I think Arsenal might also drop points because they just don't have the finishers in them to finish there. They will create chances, but again, scoring from a corner today was like Sanchez was actually in a bad position,
And
and
in Madrid, you have players like Rudiger who can mark, who are like very physical and who can mark these Arsenal defenders out.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And then they have Courtois, right, who's one of the best in the world. So
Yeah, and
that's
even like Arsenal's Madrid's front line is much more pacier.
yep.
So
Madrid's front line is pacier. They have the experience.
yeah, they are experienced on Champions League stage. They have won
Yep,
it multiple times,
yep,
and you've added the likes of Mbappe to it.
exactly. And then one player which I kind of envy, Valverde, got him for so cheap. He's like just plays anywhere, just wants to play. He's like Rooney, like
Yeah,
just play me anywhere. I'll
he's
do
a
my job.
tireless machine.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, kind of. I think Arsenal will be happy with a second place finish, and I don't think so they'll qualify in the Champions League after they face Madrid. That's my opinion.
Then a good win for Arsenal, a clean sheet for them.
Yep,
They were never really tested except for that one shot where Raya had a howler.
yep.
But Sanchez with his distribution, his saves, he doesn't look confident.
I am pretty sure he will be replaced in the summer. Pretty sure of it.
Or he'll be kept in the squad and new keeper will be added.
I'm pretty sure that will be a Brighton itself. But
Okay.
talking about the next game, again, Man City drawing 2-2 with Brighton at Etihad.
Yeah.
Their top four
The
race
only
is
saving grace for Man City would be somehow getting a fifth place. And
yes.
from what I recollect, that's the lowest Pep would have ever gone.
Yes, you could be right.
The
Yes,
lowest is fourth in his first season, if I'm not wrong,
yes,
when they were tied on points with United. Uh,
yep,
and then United, because of the superior goal difference, they made it to Champions League and
yep.
United to Europa.
I'm, I'm. To be honest, I'm gonna make a wild prediction here after the Carabao Cup. I think Newcastle might pip them to fifth. So not even fifth. So Newcastle are on 47.
Yeah.
Brighton are on 47. Fulham are on 45, and Newcastle and Aston Villa are on 45. And Chelsea are on 49, and City is on 48. I think Newcastle might pip them both to go
And
fourth.
Newcastle has played a game less.
Yes, yes, you're
They
right.
played 28 games.
Yep, you're right. So I think Newcastle might pip them. That's my opinion. Because considering Gordon will be back soon,
Yeah.
and considering what impetus they have got from today, I think they might just pip them.
They'll go full on heavy on the Premier League. Now that they
Yes,
have one less competition to worry about, are they in FA Cup?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So, with one less competition to worry about, not being in Europe will help them.
Yep,
Uh, and yeah, they'll finish. They have a strong chance to finish in top five.
exactly, exactly. So I kind of feel Newcastle might do it. But
My thought is Chelsea will drop points.
yeah, Chelsea, and I kind of feel like City are not out of the doldrums yet.
Hmm.
That's my opinion. I think City just have the know-how to get it done.
They
But
have
I think
experience.
yes, exactly, exactly. So I kind of feel Newcastle might pip them and go on top of them.
Hmm.
And so I feel it will be Newcastle or City,
Hmm.
and then City, Newcastle again, and then it might be Chelsea. And I kind of feel Chelsea might drop out.
Yeah. Bournemouth, they had a bad defeat. Otherwise, I would have put Bournemouth in the list too.
Yep.
But then they are struggling for past couple of games.
Correct, correct. But one thing I think Haaland did set a record. He has scored 100 goals in, I think, the fastest 100 goals in, or sorry, fastest 100 goal involvements with
Premier League.
in the Premier League, and he's done that in 94 matches,
That's
which
amazing.
is exceptional in my
Yeah.
opinion. So, and Shearer took 100 games. Previously, he had this record, but Haaland has broken it in 94 games.
That's amazing.
It's
He,
really good.
he's a he's like a robot.
He is absolutely like a robot.
Like he's trained, outpace the defender, bully the defender, and go and score.
Yep. And but again, kudos to Brighton, right?
Yeah.
They
Brighton have had an amazing turnaround.
yes.
And considering their manager is younger than quite some players.
Yep.
What, 31, 32, or maybe
31. Yep.
33.
And especially there, they get literally raided every summer
Yeah.
by Chelsea or someone else. It's amazing for them to like look at this
But they
because
still find players from majorly South American leagues, younger players who then
yep,
step up and have a good time in Premier League.
yep, like Baliba, Caicedo was one.
Caicedo, Baliba.
Mitoma has been amazing for them.
Yeah,
So it's really good for them. Like their scouting is just
even
amazing.
Joao Pedro,
Yeah, Joao Pedro has been
he's
really
been
good.
playing well.
Yep, yep. And even they've turned youngsters like Tariq Lamptey into uh,
Yeah,
like really good Premier League professionals. So
no doubt.
yep. I think there are two more games which we have to discuss. One is Ipswich 2-4 against Nottingham Forest.
Hmm.
Forest again winning comfortably against Ipswich.
Yeah.
2-4. Ilanga, I think, scored a brace for them.
Ilanga scored a brace, and there were two. Chris Wood did not score this
Yeah,
game.
Chris Wood
Milan
did not score.
Milenkovic scored one.
Yep.
And fourth goal, I'm
I
not
think it was
even
Nico Williams, if I'm not wrong.
possible.
Yeah. So Nottingham Forest are literally I think 3 points behind Arsenal, if I'm not wrong.
3 points.
Yep.
Three
And
or five.
oh, four, sorry. It's
Four.
4 points. Yeah. So 58 and 54.
Yeah.
But the way Nottingham Forest are playing, I think they are playing United next. Or they are playing, sorry, they are playing Brighton next.
I
So,
believe United is playing against City next, if I'm not wrong, in the Premier League.
no, they are actually playing against the Nottingham Forest. 1st
United?
April. Yep.
Okay. Okay,
And
yeah.
it's gonna,
Then City. Then United, Forest followed by City.
hmm. So it's going to be a really good game, but again, Forest just keep on winning, and their defense is one of the best. So kind of kind of looking forward, but I feel Forest are now have secured the third place. I think they won't finish lower and they won't finish higher. I think they'll be good for third, but what a season for them.
Amazing season, no doubt. It's
Yep,
been like a team which was threatened by relegation, and it was one of the favorites to go down this season,
yep,
and like defeating all the top teams this season, going all the way up to number three. It's been a good turnaround by Nuno Espirito Santo.
yep,
And you have to give it to the manager, right? Like he was
yes,
sacked by Tottenham. He had an amazing time at Wolves. He was then recruited by Spurs, where he was sacked. He
yep.
went to Middle East. He went to the Saudi League. I believe he was sacked over there as well due to differences with Ronaldo, if I'm not wrong.
I'm pretty sure yes.
So he was let go from Saudi League. Then he made his way back to Nottingham Forest. He made them survive the relegation fight, and now he's
Yep.
got team all the way to top three.
Exactly, exactly. And then I kind of fear for them next year if their center backs are not being like Milinkovic, Pipe's comes in. But yeah, Milinkovic and Murillo, I think, is center back, and then
Yeah,
their Matt Sells,
I
their
do. I'm happy for Anthony Ilanga
yeah,
since he's a United youth product. Obviously, I have a soft spot for him. Uh,
15
I
million
al-
bargain.
Yeah, 15 million. So I always wonder why we let him go. Obviously, he wanted more play time, but
Yep,
then why get the likes of Anthony in when you have players like Ilanga on the bench?
exactly, exactly. Again, it's kind of frustrating, right? And it might not work for one team, but just works for someone else.
Yeah,
Um,
you have prime examples. Even Andres Pereira is having a good season for
in
Fulham.
Fulham, yep, absolutely.
Scott McTominay is having a good season for
Napoli,
Liverpool.
yep,
So, and these were sold for not so high prices. Had it been some team like Brighton, they would have easily cashed 50 million for each of these players.
easily, easily. And with that being said, let's talk about United. 3-0 winners against Leicester City.
Comfortable win. Leicester never looked threatening. They've not scored for quite some time now.
Yes, yes, they have not
Uh,
scored
in the
for quite
Premier
some.
League, so they won in the FA Cup some time back, and then they lost to United.
Yep,
But in the Premier League, they haven't scored for quite some time. Like there was a funny moment when uh, Aiden Heaven was injured,
yep,
and then the ball was there on the pitch, and like obviously the game had stalled, the play had stalled. But then I believe it was Jamie Vardy who just kicked the ball in the back of the net and net, and the crowd started cheering.
hmm,
So that was a funny moment. A comfortable win for United. Bruno Fernandes, 2 assists and a goal
and a
after
goal.
a
Yep,
hat trick midweek against Sociedad. He's turned on his game for sure. You can
yep,
see him like even against Sociedad, even today, he was dominating the game. He scored last week against Arsenal too from a free kick.
yep,
So he is. he's turning into the savior now. He's always been a good player. Like he's
Yes.
always been the player who's showed up for United for the past 5 seasons.
Yep.
Arguably, I'd say the best player in post Ferguson era for United.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down. And I think had he had better strikers,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Or
sure he
just
would
good
have.
support overall, right?
Yep.
Not just better
Yep.
striker. You need like the wingers too. Like Rashford, one season, like terrific form during the World Cup year, but last 2 seasons he hasn't showed up. The right
Yep.
wing has always been an issue. So
Correct.
you'd have Jadon Sancho playing there. You have Anthony, who had terrible time at United.
Yep. And
So
now he's winning
the
at
only time I believe we had a good right winger was the one who shouldn't be named.
Greenwood.
So yeah.
Yep.
So but then after that, we've lacked a good right winger too.
And even a striker, right? Like if like today Hoyland scored, but he went like a
Hoyland scored. So
yep.
Hoyland, even if you watch the game against Sociedad midweek, right, he had a very good game.
Yes.
He was putting in a lot of effort. It
Yep.
was very evident. He was getting into good positions. The luck factor was missing. Like his ball hit the post and it went outside.
Yep.
He got in. I was happy that he's getting into good position, and that finally worked off today for him. Like he broke a 21 games to 21, right? Or yeah, I believe 21 game streak without a goal.
Wow.
So the
Hmm.
last time he scored was against Forest in December in Premier League.
Hmm. And you guys play Forest next, so
Yeah,
it will be
and then he
interesting.
had an assist midweek as well. So he assisted. I guess it was Garnacho's goal, or he assisted one of the goals
And
in
I think
midweek.
he won the penalty as well, the first
Yeah, he
penalty
won
which
the
United
first
got.
penalty
Yep.
too.
Yep. A comfortable win for United. They got
Leicester are
13.
going down. Leicester don't have any courage left in them anymore. They were
Yes.
flat today. Uh, I don't know how they have persisted with Ruud van Nistelrooy, honestly.
Hmm.
Uh,
I think this season the
or they are
strange part
just
is
preparing for next, like to go
yep,
down and make their way back up in Premier League the season
correct.
after.
Correct. I think this time the title has been decided way too early, mostly
Yeah,
Liverpool, and then relegation battle has been non-existent.
the three teams which came up are going down, and same happened last season too, if I'm not wrong.
I am pretty sure it did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. But I
Luton
think
was there last time. Which other two teams were? Leeds was there, right? Or
it
no?
was Leeds. Let me check.
Let me see.
Yeah,
So Luton was one of the teams to go down.
correct. I think it
And
was Luton, Sheffield United, and Burnley. So
yeah, so the three
everyone
teams
which
which came up went down.
went down. Exactly. Exactly. And then let's talk about a different league this time around. One of the best leagues where a title challenge is actually happening.
So two other leagues I'd say, but we'll focus on one league for now, which is La
Yep.
Liga.
Yep.
Top three teams, like the top three is always decided in La Liga. That's never for
Yes.
debate. It's for the
Yes.
past 10 or 12 seasons running, I believe. There was one upset where
Correct.
Girona were third last season.
I think they came in fourth, if I'm not wrong,
Oh, they
or
came
they
in.
could have come in third.
Okay, but they were in the
Yeah.
top four. But then the top three teams are always decided. But
Yep.
this year, the league, like the race between the top three has been very intense.
Correct. Correct. And today was Madrid won yesterday 1-2 against Villarreal.
Mm.
And then today it was Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. And I think until the 68th minute, Atletico
Atletico was
Madrid were
leading
2-0 up,
2-0. Yeah,
Julian Alvarez and Sorloth scoring.
yeah,
And then Barcelona just turned up from nowhere and won 4-2 at the end. Ferran Torres with the brace, one Lamine Yamal deflected strike, and one with Lewandowski.
Lewandowski. Yeah,
So I think Barcelona might just nick the La Liga this time around.
I I hope for an Atletico Madrid win.
I I hope for it, but the
It
way
looks
the
difficult. It looks difficult, no doubt.
yep,
Amongst those three, Atleti have scored the least goals with 45 or 40, 43,
yes,
45 or 47.
yep,
Uh, and Barcelona have scored the most, but Atleti have a very mean defense. So they are
correct,
defensively the best team in La Liga.
correct,
So they are relying heavily on their defense to bail them out and win the league, and that has been Atleti's kind of way always
yep.
since Simeone took over.
True. And then the one thing which I've seen with Barca, right, is they have so much attacking power this time
Yeah,
around. Is everyone is just like, even look at like Ferran Torres, right? Wasn't like the best of signings,
yeah.
but suddenly he's just clicking. He scored 2 goals today out of the blue. So
Barca's front three is crazy this season.
yep. And so
Rafinha has a good shout. Like considering the teams in UCL which are remaining right now, you have Rafinha, you have Usman Dembele, and then you have
Harry Kane.
I wouldn't say Vinicius Junior this season, but
I kind of
Mbappe,
feel Harry Kane as well.
Harry Kane too. Yeah.
Yep. And so Barcelona are going to play a good amount of games. 25th May is their last game, and 2 weeks before they play Real Madrid.
Oh,
So
that is going to be a decider probably.
that's going to be and it's at Camp Nou. And
Oh,
Barcelona did destroy Madrid 4-0 at Bernabeu.
yeah.
They've again won when they played the Super Cup.
Super Cup.
So might be an interesting game.
True, true. And for Madrid, for Real Madrid at least, Mbappe has clicked for them at the right time.
Yes. But then Vinicius has just gone down. Like,
Yeah, Vinicius, yeah, he's gone down. His form is not up to the mark this
yep,
season. Uh, he had a good first half of the season, I'd say, but
yep,
second half it's been Mbappe who's carrying the weight for Real Madrid.
correct.
On all fronts.
And
One
Rodrigo
thing
has
we need
been
to keep in mind
non-existent.
for Atleti is that they played a very grueling game. They played a brilliant game, I'd say, against Real Madrid. They are very unfortunate to get knocked out because of the deflected penalty,
Yep,
uh, which counted as two strikes.
yep,
Uh, so, in spite of that, they played well. They held their fort till the 60th, 68th minute.
yep.
But then Barcelona turned up the heat and they emerged as comfortable winners.
And again in the Copa del Rey finals, they meet again on 2nd of April. The score is currently 4-all. So it will be an interesting game for sure. And that's again at the Atletico Madrid's home
Wanda.
ground. So yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be an interesting time for sure.
Yeah.
And I think we are going to break for an international break. So
There's 2 weeks break. Yes.
there is actually it's a 1 week break for everyone else. But almost like a 2 week break for the Premier League. So the Premier League, I think, resumes back on
First or
uh,
second April.
1st of April, yes.
Yeah.
And then La Liga actually resumes on 29th of March.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's gonna be a small break from Premier League.
You're
So
right.
yep, it's gonna be an interesting. I think if Liverpool wins 1 or 2 matches, and if even if Arsenal drop points, I think that's the title. I think 12 points might be a lot for them right now, but if they draw even more, I think the title is done.
Yeah. I believe the title is done. For me, at least, Liverpool are the winners.
Yep,
Uh, the relegation fight is decided.
yep. It's
And
just the
it's
top
only the
four.
top four uh, fight left. And United versus Spurs, who finishes higher.
And then UEL maybe.
Yeah. Europa League for United and Spurs both.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
I
we
think
are
we've
out of
covered.
time now.
Yeah, we are almost out of time. So it was nice covering the review as a Liverpool fan. Quite sad, but well deserved Newcastle.
A good game week, a good few weeks left. Let's hope for the season to turn up. We'll meet you guys shortly. And thank you for watching our video and subscribing to us. See you guys.
Short. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.